but rather about realizing that your energy is best spent on what you can change, yourself. Once you master your own reactions and mindset, you will find that external challenges no longer shake your foundation, and that is where true power lies. 8. Realize that people are focused on their own lives. We often believe that people are constantly watching and judging us, but the reality is much simpler. Most people are far too absorbed in their own lives to focus on us. This realization can be incredibly freeing. The fear of judgment is one of the biggest reasons we hold back from being our authentic selves. Whether it's worrying about how we dress, speak, or act, we assume others are scrutinizing every detail. But Buddhism teaches us to let go of this unnecessary burden and live more freely. As the Buddha taught, your work is to discover your world, and then with all your heart give yourself to it. This reminds us that we each have our own unique journey to follow. People are primarily concerned with their own problems, goals, and dreams. Instead of worrying about what others might think of you, focus on discovering your path and living it fully. When you realize that people are not thinking about you as much as you believe, it lifts a huge weight off your shoulders. You no longer have to waste energy trying to live up to others' expectations, and instead, you can redirect that energy into becoming the best version of yourself. Consider how often you worry about what others think compared to how much time you spend thinking about your own challenges and goals. The truth is, just like you, most people are preoccupied with their own lives. They have their own dreams, insecurities, and worries to deal with, leaving little time to focus on you. This understanding gives you the freedom to be authentic, make decisions that feel right for you, and pursue your passions without the constant pressure of outside judgment. Buddhism teaches the concept of non-attachment, not just to material things, but also to the opinions of others. When you release yourself from the need for external approval, you allow yourself to live more authentically. Instead of living in fear of others' thoughts, focus on your own growth. This shift in mindset leads to greater confidence and inner peace because you are no longer a prisoner of other people's judgments. It's also important to understand that everyone is facing their own battles. Just as you may struggle with your own thoughts and emotions, others are dealing with their own issues. Recognizing this helps build empathy and understanding, making it easier to let go of the fear of judgment. People aren't judging you because they are too busy navigating their own struggles. By focusing less on what others think and more on your personal development, you'll start to notice a sense of freedom that wasn't there before. You'll feel lighter, more empowered, and more in control of your own destiny. It's a powerful realization that you don't need to worry about how others perceive you because they are simply too caught up in their own world. Living authentically and without fear of judgment is a key to unlocking your true potential. You'll take more risks, pursue the things that truly bring you joy, and live with a greater sense of purpose. Remember, the world is far too vast, and life is too short to live in the shadows of what others may or may not be thinking. Focus on discovering and fulfilling your own purpose with full dedication. By letting go of the constant need for validation and the fear of judgment, you create a mental and emotional space for self-discovery. This practice leads to a stronger connection with yourself and a deeper understanding of what truly matters in your life. The less you worry about what others think, the more you can focus on what makes you feel fulfilled, peaceful, and content. 9. Don't get caught up in social comparison. One of the biggest traps in life is comparing yourself to others. Whether it's comparing your looks, your career, your success, or even your happiness, this habit leads to feelings of envy, inadequacy, and frustration. Buddhism teaches us that comparison is a form of attachment that leads to suffering. By constantly measuring yourself against others, you lose sight of your own unique path and the progress you've made on your journey. As the Buddha said, Health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, faithfulness the best relationship. This reminds us that true wealth isn't found in having more than others or being better than others. It's found in contentment. When you are content with what you have and who you are, you experience inner peace. Social comparison, on the other hand, pushes you into a mindset of scarcity, always focusing on what you lack instead of appreciating what you already have. In today's world, social media has made it easier than ever to compare ourselves to others. We scroll through feeds full of pictures of perfect vacations, luxurious lifestyles, and success stories, which can make us feel like we're falling behind. But what we often don't see is the reality behind those photos, the struggles, insecurities, and challenges others face. Everyone's journey is different, and comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel is a recipe for unhappiness. Buddhism teaches us the importance of living in the present moment and cultivating gratitude for our own lives. Instead of looking outward to others, turn inward and focus on your own growth. When you practice mindfulness and gratitude, you begin to notice the blessings in your own life and how far you've come. The more you appreciate what you have, the less you feel the need to compare yourself to others. Comparison often leads to a sense of competition, which can breed jealousy and resentment. In Buddhism, these emotions are seen as harmful because they cloud the mind and take us away from our path to peace. When you're constantly competing with others, you're never satisfied, and this mindset robs you of the joy that comes from living authentically. Recognize that everyone's path is different, and the success of others does not diminish your own progress or potential. A key Buddhist concept is the idea of right livelihood, which encourages living in a way that brings harmony and balance. Part of this balance is accepting that your life doesn't need to look like someone else's for it to be fulfilling. When you stop comparing yourself to others and focus on living according to your own values and goals, you begin to experience true contentment. Your self-worth no longer depends on external standards or achievements, but instead is rooted in inner peace and self-acceptance. Social comparison can distract you from what truly matters. You may start to chase goals or possessions that don't align with your true desires simply because you see others doing it. But Buddhism reminds us that true happiness comes not from external achievements, but from understanding and following our own unique path.